All right, before I get a little taken off the sides and relax a little bit here at George's Old Fashioned Barbershop with Jim Ween. This is old Washington, D.C., 1925 barbershop. Absolutely love it. Now, let's talk a little NFL. You know, of course, much more tomorrow night at the Brighton Hot Dog Shop. We're going to be with Gino DeMarco talking about the Steelers' next game, which will be at Houston's NRG Stadium, 4:30 on NBC. That is Christmas Eve this Sunday. Big Ben, 4,025 yards, 26 touchdowns. Le'Veon Bell, been spectacular running and catching the football. He's got 1,222 yards. Antonio Brown still waiting to see about that calf injury. 1,533 yards, 101 catches, and 9 touchdowns. Cam Hayward, big year on that 3-4 defensive line with 10 sacks. Now, when you look at Houston, DeAndre Hopkins, 1,313 yards, 92 catches, 12 touchdowns. He's spectacular. Lamar Miller, 796 yards, 3 touchdowns. But they've had all sorts of problems. Deshaun Watson has been gone, the kid out of Clemson. And, of course, Tommy Savage at the University of Pittsburgh, concussion, he's out. So last week against Jacksonville, T.J. Yates making his first start since 2015, replacing Savage, who went out with a concussion, as I mentioned, at 18 yards and a touchdown against Jacksonville in a horrible 45-7 loss. Steelers 11-3, New England also 11-3, home field advantage for the postseason. AFC still up for grabs. The Patriots are going to face Buffalo at Gillette Stadium, and that is also coming up on Sunday. Now, what else is happening as far as NFL weekend? You've got in the early games, Baltimore hosting Indianapolis, Ravens, of course, 8-6, still have playoff hopes. The 0-14 Cleveland Browns are going to be at Chicago. Cincinnati's Paul Brown Stadium will host the 8-6 Lions, as we are just weeks away from the Marvin Lewis amazing career, I believe, in Cincinnati coming to an end. They've chosen not to renew his contract. Also, the 10-4 Rams, who've been one of the big stories this year in the National Football League, they're going to be in Tennessee to take on the Titans. Miami travels to Kansas City. Chiefs are still in the postseason race at 8-6. The Saints, who have an impressive year, mainly because of a future Hall of Famer by the name of Drew Brees, going to host Atlanta in a big game, 9-5. The Falcons, this is a must-win for them if they have any chance to win the South. The LA Chargers, 7-7, are going to be at MetLife Stadium to face the Jets. Their season has just imploded, and I'm sure they're kind of just waiting for that to get over. Washington is going to host Denver. Both teams have had miserable years this year. It's been a very rough road for those two iconic franchises. The Panthers are showing 10-4 record, going to host Tampa Bay. The big news there, though, is the team is up for sale, and there's a lot of names being bantered around and possibly could be owners. And I heard on a national broadcast someone mentioning the name of a good friend and a great guy out of Youngstown, Ed DeBartolo, who did so many great things back in the 80s for the 49ers. I believe, my opinion, he gets back into the game that is the NFL. That would be a plus for this signature brand, and I would be definitely rooting for Ed DeBartolo to become an owner again in the National Football League. Now, Jimmy Garoppolo time is what they're calling it in the city by the bay. He's giving them a whole lot of hope. Now, of course, a member of the 49ers. They're going to host Blake Bortles. The 25-year-old is having an incredible year for Jacksonville. 2 8-6 teams going to get a shot to meet head-to-head at the AT&T Stadium in Texas, when the Cowboys host the Seahawks. In Monday Night Football, Nick Foles is in for Carson Wentz, who's out for the rest of the year with that knee injury, coming off of a big week last week against the Giants. 12-2 Eagles are going to be hosting the 6-8 Oakland Raiders. Now, because of the Seven Fishes show coming up Sunday, there will be no Black and Gold Sunday show, but we will return coming up on New Year's Eve from 11 until 1, just prior to that game against Cleveland. We're going to be at the Rivers Casino, so we hope that you'll join us in person and get ready for that game. And again, Ted Arnaud in the noon hour, as always, walking the line with Greg Diolis and Bob Dvorak, and of course the Bambino. Have a great rest of your night from your Pratte Pack. Good night.